What's up, you guys? My name is Eric with Do Thrift Clothing. If this is your first time here, I sell primarily men's clothing on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all of the sales that I made over the weekend on those platforms. So let's get straight into it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, consider subscribing if you're not subscribed. And also make sure to stick around till the end because I have some really good finds to show you. Let's go. All right, you guys, we're going to start on eBay first. And first sale I got is some Wont joggers, sold for $18 plus shipping. Not very ideal for me. I try to stick to at least $30. Sometimes I go a little bit less if it's a fast selling item. These were just some simple Wont joggers. You got to be careful with Wont. The value has come down a lot. Last 2 years they were really good in pretty much everything, but now you really have to be selective with those. Next up, we got some Peter Millar quarter zip. This one's a Perth, size large. Now you just gotta be very careful with the Peter Millar Perth sizes. I would say under extra large. Once you start getting to like 2XL, 3XL, the Perth quarter zips, you can get maybe upwards to like between 40 and 50 bucks. This one slipped through the eBay cracks. I usually get $30, but I just accepted an offer of $20. Yeah, 20 plus shipping on that one. Next up, we got some New with Tag Wrangler jeans. This was a Wrangler Retro. This model for Wrangler jeans does actually pretty good if you can find like the slim bootcut ones. This one sold for $21.99 plus shipping. Not as much as I was hoping. By looking at my SKU number here, this is a pretty old item, so I'm glad to get rid of these. Next up, we got an Onward Reserve button-up shirt, sold for 25 bucks. These Onward Reserve Performance button-up shirts can do pretty good. You can probably get between like 25 and 30. I got 25 for that one for shipping. And keep in mind, my cost of goods on average is $10.40. If I remember how much I paid for a specific item, I'll let you guys know. Next up, we got a 7 Diamonds 4-way stretch shirt. These do very good. This one had a pretty decent pattern. I have another one that it's a little bit better pattern than this one, but I'm surprised this one sold first, and it sold for $30 plus shipping, and it sold fairly quickly, probably less than a month. Next up, we got a Sid Mashburn flannel shirt. I showed this one in a recent thrift haul. I sold it for $30 plus shipping, and the reason that I sold it for $30 and not $40, which is kind of my goal when it comes to Sid Mashburn shirts, is that this was a size small. So smaller sizes, you're typically gonna get just a little bit less than if it was at least a medium. For Sid Mashburn flannel shirts with a nice pattern, I usually get at least 40 bucks, but I just accepted $30 on that one. Next up, we got a Jane Barnes short sleeve shirt. As I mentioned in another thrift haul, I still pick up the Jane Barnes shirts if they have at least a silk blend or a linen blend. Those still do very good. And this one sold for $31.99 plus shipping. Next up, we got a H&M blazer. This one had a nice window pane pattern, sold for $35 plus shipping. I used to buy a lot of H&M blazers like last year, 2 years ago, and a lot of them don't do that good. But if you can find one like this that has a decent pattern, you probably get between like 30 and 50 bucks. All right, next up, we got a Johnston Murphy blazer. This is just a brand that I was kind of experimenting when it comes to their blazers, and this one sold for 42 bucks. I have sold probably, I would say, a handful of Johnston & Murphy blazers this year. They do pretty good. Again, similar to other blazers, you know, the lesser brands, the better the pattern. You can find some in cashmere, silk, linen, those types of materials. They're gonna do a lot better. Next up, we got some Ariat FR jeans. These sold for $36 plus shipping. I usually get at least $35, sometimes upwards up to like 50 bucks, just depending if, you know, the right buyer comes at the right time. But $36 for these. Here we got a Peter Millar Perth, size extra large. The unique thing about this one is that it had the contrast color right here on the zipper. So it was like a turquoise, and this one sold for 42 bucks. And like as I mentioned before with the Perth, you just gotta be careful with sizes under extra large. You can find 2XL and up, they're gonna do a lot better. Here we got a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren Whitfield denim shirt. This one sold for 65 bucks plus shipping, and fairly quickly, within a couple of weeks. I showed, I think, in my haul last week. Yeah, be on the lookout for Polo Ralph Lauren denim shirts, specifically the older ones, vintage 90s, even early 2000s. Here we got another blazer. The brand is Samuelson. I talked about that brand. It does very good. I've sold probably at least 10 Samuelson blazers this year so far. And this one sold for $59 plus shipping. I had a nice window pane and houndstooth pattern there. So be on the lookout for that brand. Here we got an outdoor research. This one was called the Helium 2 jacket. I remember I paid $9 for this one and it sold for $63.99 plus shipping. Obviously, if you have jackets right now in really good brands, I would list it right away because people are starting to buy these for the fall and winter. Here we got a new with tag Yori Ripstop Climber pants. I've had these quite a while. I would say at least 4 to 5 months. I priced these at $100 and somebody sent me a $75 offer, so not bad. I think I paid like $10 at Goodwill. Here we got some Ariat. These were called the Big Country boots, sold for $75. I had these priced at $100 and I put new without box because these are literally new. There's no scuffs on the bottom. Everything is perfect. I paid 40 bucks for these. So after fees, I probably ended up with around $30. All right, these are the heavy hitters. First up, we got a J. Crew linen double-breasted Japanese inspired style blazer. This one sold for $284.99 plus shipping. I'm gonna show you pictures here because this blazer is beautiful, man. I found this, I made a video too, so if you want to check that out. But yeah, this was beautiful. I priced this one high just because I didn't see any like this one on eBay. Somebody, I think, used the coupon and I sold it for $284. So very good on that one. And the sale of the weekend is this Hermenegildo Senya blazer jacket. Again, I showed this one in one of my thrift hauls last week. And this one was a nice blue, had a gingham check pattern. And the model was called Trofeo Light. So it was a lighter weight, very beautiful blazer. I knew it was gonna sell for between $200 and $300. And yeah, it sold for $300 plus shipping. I priced this one at $400. Somebody sent me a $300 offer, and I'm not gonna reject that. All right, guys, now let's move over to Mercari. I have a couple of sales to show you there. First up, we got a J. Crew Ludlow blazer. Now, this one had the Moon British cloth, which is a very high-end fabric company. You can find that fabric in a lot of J. Crew blazers. Yeah, this one sold for $112. So very good find on that one. And the last sale I had on Mercari for the weekend is this Frank and Eileen shirt. This one sold for 59 bucks. I usually find the Frank and Eileen by accident. So it's more of a woman's brand. They do make, I think, some men's button-up shirts, but I usually find these in the men's section. So I always pick them up and they always sell very, very good. All right, now let's move over, you guys, to Poshmark. And the first one, I literally just showed this the other day in my last thrift haul. This is a rollback quarter zip Texas print, size extra large, sold for $67. Here we got a new with tag Robert Graham shirt. I remember I paid $10 at Goodwill for this one and it sold for 70 bucks. Here we got an Onward Reserve vest. This one was called the Cloud Quilt Vest. Very nice vest. Somebody's probably going to use it for like golf. So if you have any like, outerwear for people that play golf, like vests, quarter zips, those should start selling pretty good right now. This one sold for 41 bucks. Here we got some Todd Snyder jeans. These were slim fit, nice purplish color, denim, 5 pocket. They had a nice stretch to it. Obviously, Todd Snyder does very good in pretty much anything. I always pick up every single item that I find from Todd Snyder. That one sold for 50 bucks. Next up, we got some Thursday boots. These were called the Captain boots. They did have a lot of like some wear here on the side, but as long as you disclose everything, you should be good to go. I paid $15 for these and they sold for $75. Brand new. These go for like around $200 on their website. So somebody paying $75 for a decent pair, I think that's a pretty good deal. And next up, we got some Faraday terry cloth shorts, sold for $29. Here we got another Robert Graham shirt. This one was used, sold for 33 bucks. The cool thing about this one is that the flip cuff had some skulls. So anytime you can have, if you can find some skull print on a Robert Graham, that's definitely gonna add value. Here we got a new with tag Missing Main performance shirt. I've had this one quite a while based on my SKU label, probably close to a year. And so I'm just happy to get rid of this one. Obviously, Missing Main is coming down a lot. So even a new with tag one, I only sold this for 33 bucks. And then that's just how it goes. All right, and the last three items, you guys, I'm gonna show you. These are from Depop. First, we got a Filson heavyweight flannel shirt. These do very good, especially now, obviously. This one sold for $40 on Depop, so very good sale on that. And then here we got a Masters Clubhouse Collection quarter zip. This one sold for $30. And the last item, you guys, are these nudie jeans. These sold for 35 bucks. So not bad on these. On the nudie jeans, you can find the name of the model on the under the material tag. I think these were called the Gritty Jacksons. So it's a pretty good model for nudie jeans. Obviously, not all the models do very good, so you have to be selective and you have to do your research. But yeah, not bad on this one. All right, you guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I appreciate every one of you that subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. I come out with new videos every single week. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.